to my channel. If you're new around here, my name is Andrea and I make videos on DIY, including lots of dollar store DIY projects, cleaning, organizing, and bullet journaling. I'd love for you to subscribe and become part of the family here. In today's video, I'm sharing 10 DIY Christmas present wrapping ideas. These ideas are particularly centered around jazzing up the Christmas gift once it's already wrapped, so adding different kinds of bows and ribbons and decorations to the presents. All of these ideas are super easy and inexpensive using everyday items and stuff from the dollar store. I hope you enjoy all these fun DIY Christmas present wrapping ideas, and let's get into the video. For the first DIY Christmas gift topper, I'm going to be making a large pom-pom out of yarn I got from the dollar store. I'm tracing out a circle onto a piece of cardboard along with a smaller circle inside using this circle maker, and then I'm cutting out each of the circles and adding a slit to get to the inner circle. Now that I have both of these cardboard circles, I'm going to hold them together and wrap the yarn around them. This is where the slit comes in very handy, making it a lot easier to wrap the yarn around the cardboard. I did a couple of layers of yarn around the cardboard pieces, and then once it got to about the thickness I wanted, I cut off the end of the yarn. Now I'm sliding some scissors in between the two pieces of cardboard and then cutting the yarn all the way around the circle. Now take another piece of yarn and slide it in between the two cardboard pieces to tie the pom-pom all together. I'm tying a couple of knots on either side of the pom-pom just to make sure it's really secure. And now it's time to slide the cardboard pieces off and we have our pom-pom. I'm taking another piece of yarn and wrapping it around the present. And now I'm tying the pom-pom to that piece of yarn. For the next gift topper, I'm going to be making a pom-pom out of tissue paper. I'm taking 4 pieces of gold tissue paper and laying them on top of each other and then folding them accordion style. Now I'm cutting the folded up piece of tissue paper into 2 sections. I'm folding the smaller piece in half and then cutting it. And now I'm folding each of these 2 pieces accordion style. These 2 are going to be making smaller pom-poms, and I only ended up using one of them. And now I'm rounding off the ends of the larger piece of tissue paper, then pulling it apart to start making the pom-pom shape. I'm carefully separating all the different layers of the tissue paper and fluffing it up as much as I can. And now I'm doing the same thing to one of the smaller pieces of tissue paper, and I'm going to glue this smaller pom-pom into the center of the larger one. For the next DIY gift topper, I'm going to be making a fan style bow using some red paper. I cut out 12 pieces of paper that were each 1 inch wide and 4 inches long. And now I'm gluing each of the ends of these strips of paper together. I cut out a longer strip of this red paper to attach to the top of this Christmas cookie tin as a base for the bow. And now I'm gluing all of these strips together just at the very ends. As you can see, this is starting to make a really pretty fan effect. And now I'll just glue this onto the strip of paper, and there you have it. I hope you're enjoying this video so far. I'd love if you would subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. Next, I'm going to be making a DIY pom-pom using some tinsel I got at the dollar store. I'm wrapping the end of the tinsel around my fingers a couple of times and then cutting it off. And I'm using a piece of string to tie it all together to keep it from unraveling. And then another piece of string to attach it to the present. For my next DIY, I'm going to be using one of these doilies from Dollar Tree that I used in my previous video where I made snowflakes out of doilies. I'm taking some of this Christmas ribbon I got at Dollar Tree and attaching the doily to the present. And I'm also taking this little pine cone and a red bell and attaching those to the ribbon as well. Next up, I'm going to be making a ribbon out of parchment paper. I've also seen this being done with wax paper. I'm taking 4 pieces and folding them together accordion style. This makes a pretty huge bow, so if you want it to be much smaller, then you would just cut your parchment or wax paper down accordingly. Once it's all folded up, I'm going to tie it together in the center with a piece of string. And much like with the tissue paper bow, I'm rounding off the ends of the parchment paper, and then I'm going to pull it all apart and fluff it to make a big bow. For my next DIY gift topper, I'm going to be taking these Christmas ornaments I got at Dollar Tree and painting them with some gold and white spray paint. Before I paint them, I'm taking off the little decorations of the leaves and the pine cones because I don't want those to get painted, and I'll just glue them back on after. I'm spray painting the bases of these ornaments in gold, and then I'm painting the top parts in white. It's time to glue the metal decoration part onto the wood ornament, and now I'm going to reattach the little pine cone and greenery decoration, and I'm just going to tape the ornaments right onto the present. Next up, I'm going to be making a snowflake out of pipe cleaners. I have these white pipe cleaners I got at the dollar store, and I cut them into 3 6-inch pieces and 6 2-inch pieces. First, I twisted the 3 6-inch pieces together to make the basic snowflake shape. Then I took each of the smaller pieces of pipe cleaner and twisted them onto the ends to add a little bit of detail to the snowflake. You could definitely cut more pieces of pipe cleaners and add it however you'd like. I had these little sequin stickers, so I decided to add some to the snowflake just to jazz it up a little bit. Next up, I'm going to be using some classic candy canes to dress up another present. I'm hot gluing 2 candy canes together to make sort of like a cross with the 2 candy canes. Then I'm tying a piece of Christmas ribbon around the present and adding the candy canes on top, along with a piece of gold ribbon and a little silver bell. For my last gift wrapping DIY, I'm going to be making some snowflakes using tissue paper. First, I'm cutting a piece of tissue paper into a square. Then I'm folding the left corner of the square down to the bottom right corner, and then folding the top right corner down to the bottom left to make a triangle. Then folding that bottom left corner over so the top parts are aligned but the bottom corner is hanging down the bottom of the triangle a bit, then folding the other side over top and cutting off those end pieces. Now I'm drawing some designs onto the tissue paper that I will then cut out to make the shape of the snowflake. And I'm making another snowflake using red tissue paper and making a bit of a different design with this one, along with an almost identical one using white tissue paper. I'm tying a piece of this red and white string around the present as the base. Then I'm gluing all 3 of the snowflakes I made together, and then I'll glue those onto the string. And to cover up the hot glue spot there, I'm adding a little bow using the same red and white string on top. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed all of these DIY Christmas present wrapping ideas. Let me know in the comments if you're done all your wrapping for the year or if you still have some to go. Thanks again for watching and subscribing to my channel. I'm so glad to have you here, and I'll see you next time.